Number 10.
The Sony A6700 is an exceptionally capable camera for video thanks to its stabilized sensor, nearly full-width 4K 60 recording option, and front-facing display. Support for digital mics, internal 10-bit 4:2, 2-color sampling, excellent battery life, and access to the E-mount lens library are also marks in its favor. The A6700 is a sensible step up from the ZV-E10 for vloggers who like to work handheld and don't want to fuss with a gimbal. It's a more costly prospect, as you need to add a mic and a premium lens. However, so it might appeal more to already successful vloggers who know how to take full advantage of its abilities.
Number 9.
The Sony ZV-E10 follows in the footsteps of Sony's APS-C alpha cameras but with a vlogging-specific design and a cheaper price tag, making it the best budget vlogging camera. Though it doesn't have a viewfinder, its fully articulated screen makes it easier to monitor yourself without accessories getting in the way. This camera also has a headphone jack and a low-profile hand grip that's easier to hold in a selfie position. You're missing out on IBIS at this price point, so go for an optically stabilized lens if you plan on shooting handheld. It has a very reliable autofocus system and even includes specialized focus modes like Product Showcase. This feature is a godsend for product and beauty vloggers as it'll automatically shift focus to any object you hold up in the frame without having to block your face.
Number 8.
If you don't need a full-frame sensor and want to save some money, the Fujifilm X-S10 is one of the best cameras in its class for vlogging and video work. There's a lot to love here, from a large comfortable hand grip to a fully articulated screen that makes it easy to monitor yourself while recording. It's also one of the few cameras at this price point with IBIS, which will help you record smoother handheld footage. On top of that, you get a wide selection of frame rates, including a slow-motion recording mode that records at up to 240 FPS and 1080p, letting you incorporate cinematic slow-mo shots that can raise the quality of your vlogs. Inside is a high-resolution APS-C sensor that can capture excellent video quality, with colors that pop straight out of the camera. The camera also supports log recording if you want to do more hands-on color grading. Its autofocus can reliably track faces in video, ensuring you stay in focus while recording. Though now replaced by the Fujifilm X-S20, the X-S10 is notably cheaper and offers much value for its price.
Number 7.
Purpose-built for vlogging, the Canon PowerShot V10 is the first of a new breed designed to rival the phone in your pocket. To that end, it uses the same 1-inch sensor as the PowerShot G7X III from 2019, but optimized to work with a fixed 18mm f2.8 lens to rival the Sony ZV-1 While dated in some ways, it has a natural advantage over most smartphones, producing sharp, detailed results in bright conditions, aided by subject tracking that proved reliably sticky in testing. Its form factor curious, with room for a few design improvements, but it handles well on the whole. Though it would benefit from better front-on visibility, the 2-inch flip-up touchscreen is useful for framing, while the simple control setup, including a big record button, proves pretty foolproof. That its built-in stand makes life easier when working solo. Digital image stabilization is a little jittery when smoothing footsteps, but this will likely improve with future firmware updates. Straightforward wireless live streaming also enhances the camera's vlogging chops. So while it can't compete with the latest alternatives, the PowerShot V10 makes sense as a pared-back choice for vloggers who want point-and-shoot simplicity.
Number 6.
A full-frame camera will be overkill for most vloggers, but if you want to record vlogs using a larger sensor, the Panasonic S5 II is a good bet. It's lighter than the Panasonic GH6, yet still feels solid in the hand. A tally light would be handy when working solo, but its controls intuitive in testing, with an articulating display that's crisp and useful for framing. The S5 II excels when shooting video. It produced excellent 6K 30p footage, with rich colors and wide dynamic range. Helpfully, it can record uncropped video using the full 3:2 aspect ratio of the sensor, which means you can easily crop content for different social platforms. Panasonic has finally embraced phase detection AF for video on the S5 II. Paired with effective image stabilization, the result is dreamy, smooth video even when shooting handheld. Depending on your lens choice, some vloggers will find the 1.5x crop on 4K 60p video limited, while you'll need the premium S5iX for features like wireless IP streaming. The S5 II is still a compelling for professional vloggers.
Number 5.
The Nikon Z30 is a compact APS-C camera pitched squarely at vlogging beginners. With no viewfinder, it goes all in on a vari-angle touchscreen, strikingly similar to the Sony ZV-E10. That setup makes it Nikon's smallest and cheapest APS-C mirrorless camera yet. Despite its compact proportions, the testing found that a generous grip made the Z30 comfortable to handle, even when self-shooting. The 3.0-inch display was also intuitive to use. Flip it for vlogging and the camera switches to selfie mode, reliably tracking your face with sticky autofocus. What you can't do in selfie mode is visually check sound levels. With no headphone jack, this leaves audio monitoring to guesswork. Nikon's APS-C lens range remains limited. And because the Z30 records using the whole width of the sensor, you can utilize the lens full field of view. Electronic vibration reduction also stabilizes handheld vlogging, although its 1.3x crop is restrictive at arm's length. But with EVR disabled, the Z30 can shoot uncropped 4K 30p and HD 120p video. Together with a range of color profiles and neat touches like a tally lamp, the Z30 shapes up as a competent offering for fledgling creators.
Number 4.
A good vlogging camera should be compact and easy to operate, boxes both ticked by the Sony ZV-E1. As the smallest, lightest full-frame camera with image stabilization, it's a winner for solo vlogging. The ZV-E10 is even more portable, but you won't get the same video quality from its smaller APS-C sensor. Testing found the ZV-E1 capable of capturing crisp 4K 60p footage in all lighting conditions, thanks to a full-frame sensor borrowed from the revered A7S III. It also has impressed by its in-body image stabilization, which produced superbly smooth handheld footage that almost makes a gimbal unnecessary. Cutting-edge AI smarts also leave very little to fix after the fact. Auto-framing reliably tracks subjects across the image, which is a big win when you're recording alone. It's not perfect for heavy use, with no cooling vents and just one card slot. And it's tricky to pick out details on the vari-angled touchscreen when working outdoors. But if you're a content creator operating solo, the ZV-E1 is still the ultimate full-frame choice for 4K vlogging.
Number 3.
The Fujifilm X-S20 takes everything that made the X-S10 one of our favorite vlogging cameras and introduces features that make it feel like a more user-friendly option for fledgling content creators. Inheriting the well-balanced body of the X-S10 means the X-S20 sits very comfortably in the hand, while our first impressions in testing found that simplified dials on the top plate make it easier to get to grips with what is quite an advanced shooting tool. It also inherits the same 26.1 megapixels bi-trans CMOS 4 sensor as the X-S10 and X-T4, which we already know from our previous tests is a top performer. The X-S20 boosts things further by offering 6K 30p 4:2, 10-bit internal recording. Improved in-body image stabilization also worked well in testing. With a bigger battery on board, this all adds up to a great mirrorless all-rounder. Its price hike will be a drawback for many beginners, while the lack of weather sealing is a broader disappointment. The older X-S10 is still available at a lower price, but features such as a dedicated vlog mode, which puts neat creative settings a tap away, make the X-S20 the more tempting proposition for vloggers.
Number 2.
Panasonic's GH6 II was one of favorite cameras for professional vloggers, offering plenty of creative potential in compact packaging. The GH6 tops it on almost every metric. Equipped with a sharper 25.2 megapixels micro four thirds sensor, it can shoot 5.7K footage at 60 FPS. It also offers a massive arsenal of formats, frame rates and resolutions, including a larger catalog of 10-bit modes, while forced fan cooling means limitless recording times. While it's marginally larger than the GH5 Mark II, it still retains a relatively portable form factor. Its robust build is complemented by familiar controls and new tally lights front and back. The 3-inch rear touchscreen flips, twists and tilts, while a second video record button on the front now makes it easier for vloggers to start rolling. Connectivity options are comprehensive, although the GH6 does lack the live streaming capabilities of the GH5 Mark II. There's still no phase detection AF either, although contrast-based autofocus performance does seem improved from the GH5 Mark II. Stabilization is superior too, courtesy of an algorithmic upgrade that makes the GH6 one of the best cameras for smoothing out walking motion in a natural way.
Number 1.
Compact and powerful, the Sony ZV-1 nails what most people want from a small vlogging camera. Its compact packaging gives it excellent versatility, as do its hot shoe, mic port and fully articulating touchscreen. Its real-time tracking and IAF to be the class of the field, while the 1-inch sensor was capable of producing crisp, detailed 4K 30p video. The ZV-1 offers a huge amount of depth for a compact camera, with a built-in ND filter and profiles like S-Log 2 for those who want to embrace color grading. While the newer Sony ZV-1F offers a wider 20mm lens and smartphone-style interface for a lower price, its older contrast AF system and cold shoe mount mean it can't oust the original from the top spot. Nor can the Sony ZV-1 II, the pricier successor to the ZV-1 that features a wider lens. Sony is continuing to sell the ZV-1, and you won't find a finer compact vlogging camera right now.